at you live, covering all things professional wrestling. A show by members of the Busted Open Nation. Welcome to the Nation's Corner. Here are your hosts, the Nation's Corner crew.
What's up? It is 7 p.m. on a Saturday, and you know what that means. Nation's Corner is live, coming at you with another 1 hour of ridiculousness. I am Debhausen, the friendly neighborhood Debhausen. I'm very nice, but don't forget, I'm also very evil. And I am joined by my partner in crime, John in South Jersey. How you doing?
Good evening, Deb.
And Mongrovian Mike, all the way from Mongrovia. How you doing? You're muted.
Of course he's muted.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
There you go. There you go. Okay. I'm back.
Do we start the timer now when the hotline rings for him, or? All right, never mind. Moving on.
All right.
Moving on.
It is a beautiful Saturday night. We got Collision coming up. We got GCW Ashes to Ashes coming up. But first, I would love to send a very, very special happy birthday wish out to our friend, Tony Justice, who no-showed the show tonight. So,
yeah.
You know,
because it's his birthday.
Maybe he doesn't think we're as good of a friends as we are.
Well, that's
he's not on here tonight.
Brother. Yo,
just kidding.
Hey.
Happy birthday.
Yes. Happy birthday, brother. Go enjoy yourself.
We love you. We miss you. We'll see you tomorrow for our Revolution watch along. All right.
Oh.
Anybody have any opening thoughts before we get on into the wrestling talk? We'll talk about the end of SmackDown first.
Well, along the line of birthday shout outs, I was going to save it for the end of the show, but I'll do it right now. This lovely young lady right here, that I don't know if my camera is showing, with the very funny peach ring in her mouth, is the incredible murder gymnast Lady Frost, and it is also her birthday today. So yes. We would like to wish her a very happy birthday. She is a good friend of the show and a good friend of mine. And she told me that she had many exciting things planned that she would not tell me about for her birthday, but hopefully she has a very good day. So
happy birthday to Lady Frost. We love you.
Definitely. Yes. Stay frosty.
Stay frosty. Mm-hmm. Stay icy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we will preview AEW Revolution coming up tomorrow. But first, I wanted to have a little discussion about specifically the ending of SmackDown last night. I listened to Busted Open this morning with Denise and Mark. I think they had a really great discussion about it. So if you missed that, go back and check it out. I wanted to give my thoughts, and then I'll throw to John for your thoughts.
Okay.
You know, I said last week on the show, and in the clip that I posted on Nation's Corner socials last night before SmackDown started, Cody and Randy Orton was the match that I wanted to see at WrestleMania for the championship. That's what I wanted to see. Honestly, I really haven't been invested that much in the Roman and Punk story. Obviously that match was set first. That was the first match set for WrestleMania, that we knew that WrestleMania this year was going to close out with Roman and Punk. I would catch up on the clips of the promos, and obviously every time there's a Roman or Punk promo, we hear 10,000 hours of content discussion on Pro Wrestling Nation about it. So I was caught up, but I wasn't really invested in that story. But man, the past week and a half to 2 weeks that Cody and Orton have really, kicked up and become official, that's it for me. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I know Denise said it today, but as far as I'm concerned, that should be the true main event for night 2 for WrestleMania. I believe that is the championship that means more, because that was the championship that Roman had.
Yep.
So and I'm all in on that story. That is one thing that's getting me interested. That, to me, that is the biggest selling point for watching WrestleMania.
Yeah. The thing is, when did Orton turn face? How long has it been? It's been a couple of years at least, right? And like when he first turned face, we're like, you just wait. With Orton, you always just wait for that shoe to drop.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know, and we got a ton of RKOs out of nowheres on anybody and everybody, but he was still the face. And now last night was the legitimate return of the legend killer, the Viper, the voices in your head.
Beautiful.
Very
well done.
It was unreal. It was unreal. Cody laying there with blood soaked in his hair and one shoe just knocked off. And the thing is, he didn't get one RKO, did he? He just got the shit beat out of him, which was a point that I made. Everybody always gets an RKO or two.
Right.
He's like, I'm saving that. That's, whatever.
And what I thought was really, really awesome is not only did we get the Cody beatdown, his face is all bloody, and you see the blood in his beautiful blonde hair, but then you get the closing shot of the show. That's Randy sitting on the chair in the middle of the ring with the title draped around his waist. And then you see in the background behind them, it was shot beautifully, great camera angle. Like in the background behind him, you see Cody laying with, his head in the corner of the stairs and just kind of like looking up and looking back at Randy.
Yes,
that was a perfect shot.
He lifts his head up and looks at Randy, and then you see the produced by. That was perfect. That was cinema. Whatever that means. I always hear people say that was cinema.
Cinema, yeah.
That was it.
That was cinema, right?
That was. And you're absolutely right, Mike and Deb. We've all been kind of waiting for this shoe to drop. When was Randy going to become the Apex Predator again? Not to say that babyface Randy was not fun. It was not entertaining. We got great matches and matchups out of it, but you always knew. And it started back when Cody first won the title. One of the first people that congratulated him was Randy Orton. But there was that extra second or two that Randy kind of eyed that championship belt as he's congratulating and patting Cody on the back. But you can see the one side eye looking at that belt. And they played that throughout all of this. That every once in a while you would see them interacting just in a random backstage thing. Hey, how you doing? This and that. And Randy be this that quick little glance to the belt and a little smile on his face.
Yeah.
And especially after 2 weeks ago when he beat Drew, or last week when he beat Drew, they had that shot of Randy watching at the monitor and then giving the side eye grin over his shoulder at the camera, seeing that he's going to be facing Cody now. And it absolutely is perfect. It absolutely elevated this match to be, and I agree with you, Deb, this should be the night 2 main event. But more importantly, especially in this era in any wrestling company, that we talk about how much more these stories have evolved, have they changed, and people kind of intermix different things, reality and scripted and all that. What you had last night was basically now they have gone completely old school, and you have a good guy versus a bad guy.
With lineage all the way back to Cody's beginning.
Right. And that's the key selling point. That this isn't just some random competitor that came in and did something more. This is a long. You want to talk about connecting the dots? You have what?
And we'll
10?
talk about that later, Deb, with Hangman MJF as well too, because
Right.
that's the same. That's
And
the same exact thing that
Yes.
they sewed in, to bring it all about,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll finish with this. Absolutely, now this is a more must-see match than Roman and Punk. Not that they're not doing great things as well, but again, they had the same situation on Monday night. They're trying to take two guys that are, no matter what, so over with the fan bases. The fan base that but they have to, you really, in order to sell this story and make it worth watching, you have to sell a good guy versus a bad guy. And that's exactly what they did last night. And now we have something for both nights of WrestleMania that no matter what else is on the card, no matter who else is on the card, you're going to be watching both the main event of night 1 and the main event of night 2.
Yes. And to kind of piggyback off of what you said about, the good guy and the bad guy, I honestly think that this is another case of, I don't feel like it's a clear-cut good guy and bad guy, because I feel like the crowd is split on them. Not everyone is cheering for Cody and not everyone is booing Randy. There are a lot of people that are cheering for Randy because we've wanted him back in this championship picture for quite a while now. Now he's kind of chasing after John Cena's record. And so this would be number 15?
15.
Yeah, this would be number 15 for him if he wins this. So, like, personally, I'm cheering for Orton here because, like, we've seen Cody as champion, a couple times over the course of the last 2 years. I want to see Randy get his 15, and Dave LaGreca mentioned on Busted Open earlier this week, like that is the story that Randy should be talking about, is making history. And I agree. I completely agree with that. I'm not booing Orton here, even though obviously he's, the clear heel in the situation. Like, I'm rooting for him. I want to see him get his 15th championship because I miss that version of Randy Orton.
Yeah, to your point, I think that might be why Cody didn't get any RKOs, because as soon as Cody gets an RKO, then the crowd there's some part of the crowd that will start chanting one more time. And you're like, no, we're trying to get, a little dirty. What's up, bro?
Yeah.
And get that. Hey, send us all that WrestleMania pics. I'm going to beat that dog this year and you.
You're over as it is. Why are you pushing your luck?
You know what? I got to talk smack, man. I'm a heel.
But speaking of, I know we kind of cut off the conversation, the point you were making. But Little Dirty and the whole Dirty family in Texas today met Bully at a meet and greet appearance.
They went to Uncle Bully.
That's right.
Yes. So
shout out
to the whole family.
Yeah.
Shout out to the whole Dirty family.
You probably asked for chicken parm too. Anyway,
I need some more of that chicken parm.
Well, it is that good. Yeah, those who were fortunate enough to actually stay at Castle Monrovia and pervade the kitchen are treated
and the meatballs.
And the meatballs.
The meatballs.
You got to give.
I like a good meatball.
Props to Mrs. Mongrovian, because she gets everything ready, man, in this house, and
we love Jackie.
Yes.
Shout out to Jackie.
That's what she's the one that keeps this house rolling. So
it certainly ain't you.
Anyway, what were we saying?
I don't think I'm rolling. Oh, so.
But I guess to sum it all up, we now have at least a very clear picture of what the main events for WrestleMania are.
Yeah.
And out of that, we have two matches that we know we're going to be watching night 1 and night 2.
Yeah.
However, the very other interesting part from SmackDown last night was, and I know we've seen this before, but I'm still kind of excited for it. Drew McIntyre quit in the beginning of the show.
Again.
You know, and I'm like, you big whiny Scottish bitch. Really? This is the way you're gonna go. But it kind of granted, we talked about before why Drew is not the champion going into Mania and all this and that, and what his plans after Mania are. However, what they are playing into, and I'm glad they did. My first choice would have been Drew and Nick Aldis. And they could have played that story up and had a match at Mania, but we're not quite getting that yet. Keyword yet. But we are getting, it seemingly, Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre, which I'm very excited about, because Jacob Fatu, if he was not going to be on Mania, would be an absolute crime. They cannot afford not to capitalize the extreme rise of popularity, and rightfully so, Jacob Fatu.
Agreed.
Yeah. Deb would steal Denise's phrase, when the meat is good, the meat is good. And that's a meat match right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
But
yes. Agreed. All right. Any other WWE points that you guys wanted to make before we move on?
One last thing. Besides being a rough night for Cody Rhodes, it was a rough night for his suit too. The jacket went to the crowd. The shirt came ripped off. You lost a shoe.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about dollars here, folks. Those things ain't cheap. You know, I wish I had the money to take off a couple $100 suit jacket and throw it in.
That was a nice suit.
John, you live in Jersey, so I see it too here. I don't know about that, but I'm driving along one day, and like this is 2 times in one day. I'm passing by, and there's one shoe in the road.
Yes,
on the side of the road.
Right?
I see that on 78 as I'm going to work.
Yeah,
like, who loses a shoe?
Somebody walk home drunk with just one shoe on. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden I go, holy shit, it's an empty fucking sneaker there. I was like in one day, what the hell? Did 2 people
forget
lose
to tie their shoes?
Like, how
did this happen? You know, yes. I'm just saying, it was a rough night to be Cody's suit.
Yeah,
and we always comment, Cody is always immaculately dressed.
If that shoe flew into the crowd, man, it's on eBay already.
Yeah, I mean, you can find it on eBay. Yeah, yes, I'm sure.
The jacket got shredded,
and I want to know. Also, one last comment. I want to know how much the Cody Rhodes poster autographed by Debhausen is.
Oh my God. Okay, yes. I would be remiss if we didn't mention that. I saw him post that on social media shortly before SmackDown started, and I was literally laughing out loud.
And he stole a Cody
literally just laughing out loud, dying.
And
just cold.
Yes.
Some lucky bastard is gonna get a Cody 8x10 signed by Danhausen.
Also, search out online that on the media, Danhausen meeting the Bella Twins.
Yeah, that's
which is classic. We all saw that, but I tell the people out there, it's funny as hell.
Yeah. So my favorite part about the bit that Danhausen had posted backstage at the merch table is, obviously all that stuff was laid out probably for Cody to go sign them all. Right. And obviously, I don't think Danhausen told that guy that was, prepping all those items, like the bit that he was about to do, because you see the look on that guy's face, like when Danhausen was like, "Can I sign these?" and the guy was like, "No."
Yeah, you go, okay.
And then he signs it and he goes, "Man, now you can sell it for $1 million."
All the human monies.
Oh my God, that's gold, Jerry, gold.
It is. And for all those people that say, "Oh, WWE is too serious," GF Why? My one word comment is Danhausen.
Yeah. Doing it good so far.
That
So
it's
far, so
they're
good.
they're definitely making up
listen,
for
that guy. That all props to him, because that guy, when he was making zilch zero nada, was entertaining the fuck out of everybody during the pandemic. So.
absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
One of the unsung heroes of the pandemic that kept that, like, had his name at the, to the point that, and even a guy like Bully was like, get yourself over, and I want to do something with Danhausen. So
Yeah. All right. Let's go into the AEW talk.
Right.
We have Revolution to preview. First though, okay. Can I just have a mini rant here?
Why not? Elder does.
I do. Can't we just keep things positive on the show?
I'm very positive. I'm very positive.
I never go
I'm
off the rails.
I'm a very, very nice person.
Deb.
But
you're very evil. That's why you're Debhausen.
I'm also very evil.
So
yeah. Okay. All right.
Go for it.
Real quick, because this happens every single AEW pay-per-view cycle. Can we please just not do the whole fake outrage over how long the show is, how many matches there are, the use of blood in the hardcore matches? Can we just not? Can we not? If it's not your style or the genre of wrestling entertainment you're into, just don't watch it. You don't have to watch it. You know what to expect with an AEW pay-per-view. If that's not what you're into, don't watch it. We shouldn't be expected to change. AEW shouldn't be expected to change their style to accommodate people who aren't into that, who are into something different. I'm not sitting here tweeting relentlessly about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, demanding that they change their show because I'm not into that genre. I'm not into that genre, so I don't watch it.
The what?
That's it. So can we please not do this? Because I'm already prepared for Monday. Every podcast, every person out there is going to be like, that show is too damn long. They need to do something about it. There's too many matches. Just stop. Just stop.
You know what?
And that's my Deb talk.
If John, if Deb added like fuck and fucking in that rant about
she'd sound like you
5 times, she'd sound like Marina Shafir.
Well, yeah, that too, but
she'd scare the shit out of everybody.
Well, that's but that's not her.
If it's not the type of product, if it's not the type of entertainment that you are into, watch something else. I don't watch Real Housewives.
Oh,
I'm not into that.
Since when do you watch them? And when do they have one in Salt Lake City? Who the fuck wants to be one there?
They do.
Anyway, I digress.
It's clear to me in this intergender tag team right up here that I'm looking at.
Yeah.
John is the animal to Deb's hawk. He just goes. He goes on a little and he goes, Tell him, Deb. And then Deb goes on the long rant. Well,
I'm just saying. Like we know what to expect. We know what it is. AEW is AEW. WWE is WWE. Let them do what they do separately.
As the Sunday show busted open says, fan how you want to fan.
I agree. Listen, is Deb a mark? Yes, but yeah. So
of course
what?
I am.
So what?
And you know why I am? Because AEW is literally the reason why I am a wrestling fan. I know I've told this story a whole lot of times. I watched WWE for 10 years before AEW started. And sure, there were some things here and there that I liked. I'm not saying everything sucked and I wasn't into it. But as a whole, I never really felt connected to it. I didn't watch as a kid. I don't have that childhood nostalgia wrapped up in pro wrestling. And watching WWE I got into it during the Cena years.
Yeah,
I never felt connected. I never felt like
the PG era couldn't really
a hardcore fan.
Yeah, you couldn't
Yeah.
feel connected with the PG era unless you were.
Yeah, I didn't feel
that's the
connected.
PG era.
AEW made me feel connected to pro wrestling.
Yeah, the PG era would be
and
for
that is
all,
why
like,
I am so
10-year-olds.
passionate about it, because it's the reason why I'm a wrestling fan. It's the reason why I know all you guys. It literally, and it makes me hot when everybody's constantly telling them to change. And I'm like, don't ruin wrestling for me.
Now
Okay.
look at
You,
you.
Deborah.
Now you're watching death matches. You're going GCW
Yeah.
shows.
Right?
So proud of you. So proud. Look at my little girl, all grown up. Look at my partner.
Deathmatch Dave.
Yes, I'm an AEW mark. I'm a sicko. Yes, I am.
Yeah, we're gonna
But-
watch GC Dub later.
We will.
Yeah.
Yes, we will. All right. That's
All right.
enough of that.
We're
Point
gonna
me.
be at GC Dub 2300. Hells yeah.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited.
GC Dub and the EC Dub.
All right.
Cannot fucking
All right.
Go.
Get
wait.
that out of my system.
Get us on time. I want.
Let's get to the card, shall we? All right, John, you want to pull up the match
I
graphics?
will.
We don't need to go into in depth on the pre-show matches. Obviously because they're pre-show matches, but we got Willow and Lena Cross having her pay-per-view debut.
Yes.
And she will be in the tag match as well later on.
Mhm.
Obviously, I think Willow is winning this. I think that's a no-brainer, but good
Yeah.
featured spot for Lena Cross.
Absolutely.
We also have the Battle Royale for Ricochet's National Championship, 21-man Blackjack Battle Royale.
All right. Just to be clear, Deb, Ricochet
Yes.
is in this Battle Royal.
Yes, Ricochet is in this match.
Okay.
So he has to put 20 other people over the top rope in order to retain his national championship.
All right. So
by the
winner
way,
is
also
the national champion.
I'm exhausted
Yes.
already.
Okay.
By the way, also, I just
That's
want to point
crazy.
out real quick as we get into the card more. Earlier this afternoon, AEW put out a video on YouTube, posted it to all their socials. RJ and Renee hosting everything you need to know about AEW Revolution. It's like 9 or 10 minutes long. It's just a really quick, this is the pay-per-view, this is where you can buy it, these are the matches, very quick,
good.
Get up to speed on the stories that are happening. And I think AEW absolutely knows that they have a lot of new fans and a lot of fans that are tuning back in after getting out of it. They know that they're putting out a lot of this content, getting people caught up on everything that's happening. But yeah, the Battle Royal, I kind of hope that they do the thing that they did last pay-per-view, where they let that match bleed into the beginning of the pay-per-view. I kind of hope that they do that. As I know some people were a little angry about that, but whatever. I thought it was cool. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a really good hook to get people going like, oh my God, that's so awesome. Now I got to quick get the pay-per-view.
Right. And they made it obvious that they weren't going to cut the match off just because they were about to go live for the actual pay-per-view. So you're right. People were like, wait a minute, I got to stop. I at least got to see the end of this. So, here's my money and, tune and watch. And I hope they do that too, because I think that's, one of the little things that AEW does different.
Yeah.
That,
I do see you in the chat, Universal. I do see you in the chat, and we do call out messages in the chat when it does pertain to, the conversation that we're happening. But yeah, I do see you. Anyway, John, where do you want to go next?
We'll stay right in order.
All right. Babes of Wrath versus Megan Bayne and Lena Cross. Megan has been attempting to get these tag titles for a little bit now with multiple different partners, but I think ultimately Babes of Wrath retain.
I don't think it's time for a title change for them yet. Although this is probably the best team. Or I should say, if it was the original Mega Bad, Penelope, Ford, and Megan, I would say maybe new champs. But I think they have a real good story, a real good tag team story that we're going to talking about tag team stories that we're going to see later on in the card. I think they have the beginning of a very good tag team story that they can run with for a while. Where they, I'm not saying they're going to swap the belts back and forth, but they can start building a really good rivalry with this, and it helps all four of them even more than the Babes of Wrath being the tag team champions now, and Megan and Lena on the come up.
Yeah, and I think Babes of Wrath are incredibly entertaining. We are huge Willow and Harley fans here.
Yes. Even with her new nose.
Even with her new nose. Yeah, I know you guys, have been familiar with Willow Nightingale for a lot longer than I have.
We love Megan Bain too, though. So
we love Megan Bain too. I am absolutely a big fan of Megan Bain. She's incredible.
The women's division in all of these friggin' promotions are just like, to me that in AEW and NXT and TNA especially, it just like amazing.
They are more nights than not. They are truly the stars of the show.
Any one of those divisions can make headline a pay-per-view and headline any of the shows. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right, John, where to next?
We'll stay with the women because this one I really like.
Yes, I love this poster.
Yeah, the poster is really cool. The match is even better because these are two women that no matter what you may think about them, whether they do not give zero fucks at all. None. Not one between the two of them. And
Marina does in interviews. She throws out a lot of fucks.
Yeah, but she's very expressive in her speech. And she's also very expressive in the ring with her punches and kicks.
It
and
is
judo
the most
throws.
perfect word in the English language.
It is, yes.
In any language.
But, that match, I'm going to go ahead and call it. That potentially could be match of the night for that entire card. And this is, as usual, a very stacked AEW pay-per-view card. But I can legitimately see Marina and Tony absolutely stealing the show and being the match that everybody is talking about on Monday.
Yeah. Okay. I think Marina's winning this, but I do agree with you, obviously, that it's going to be an incredible match. We've seen them battling each other here and there for quite a while. And it's just going to be amazing. I'm going to save my match of the night moniker for another one, though.
Yeah, you're right. You're right with that one too, because Marina just needs to keep looking stronger, and a loss doesn't hurt Tony at all.
No, Tony.
She's won and lost and won and lost before.
Tony is still
never
absolutely
lost any juice, any pop, and that's what's important is she is single-handedly one of the most entertaining
Tony's
people
still absolutely
in wrestling
in AEW.
In wrestling.
Yeah,
in wrestling, I'd say.
She's absolutely Teflon in AEW. She
yes,
could literally come out and wrestle a broomstick, and they'll still cheer for her. So, all right, here we'll go to this one because I'll just say it now. I think this is going to be the car crash of the night.
There's nothing to not like about this match.
Yes,
absolutely nothing not to like. But like I said, the AEW always gives us one crazy kind of car crash, kind of holy shit match, and I believe this one is going to be it, just because of the guys involved.
Has anybody, Deb? I've asked you before. Has anybody ever seen Kyle have a bad match?
No, it doesn't happen.
Has he have?
Yeah.
There's a couple of guys that you say they've never had a bad match. It's Kyle, is Takeshita, Okada. Okada never. Forget about it. That guy carried a whole company on his back for how many years? So
yeah.
It's good. It's entertaining.
Agreed. I think it's going to be a great match. We saw Jet Speed lose the trios titles. I think that Don Callis family is going to keep them for a little bit because I think the Don Callis family is going to be accruing lots of gold. I had a thought, and I know I saw other people say this, so it's not an original thought by any means. Wouldn't it be cool if the Don Callis family does like the Freebird rule, where every match they go into, whether it's like tag or trios, it could anybody.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Funny.
Yeah, I think it would be
entertaining.
Great. It would be.
You never know what you're gonna get.
It would be the typical chicken shit heel stuff that we come to know and love from that asshole Don Callis. And I'll say it again, PSA, fuck Don Callis.
Yes, exactly.
But I agree.
Yeah. All right, where to next?
As much as I love Tommy Dreamer, but he does roast Tommy really friggin' like. Oh my God.
Let's go with a little.
It is pretty funny.
He's brutal.
Latino flavor.
Okay. So let's talk about it. So this match was a bit of a surprise. You know, Bandito just randomly said, I want a match too. And Andrade answered the call. But there is history with them. You know, there is a picture floating around that AEW used in a bunch of their promotional stuff where Bandito met Andrade as a kid, which is crazy. And yeah, I think this is just personally, this is the match that's going to be the show stealer for me.
Yeah.
I think as a whole, this entire card is going to be a follow that card.
And it has to be.
I think this match in particular is going to be the one that, like, whoever follows that, fucking good luck, man.
I like this match just because obviously there are ties and connections between the both of them. Yeah. Andrade, after some, I won't call it bad booking, but bad experiences in both AEW, WWE, back to AEW, back to WWE, back now to AEW, now that all that. I like the fact that this is just a match basically for the sake of a match with two guys that are really, really good in the ring. Are both
at the lucha style,
and we're going to see a straight up lucha match. Not since the days, and I'll say it loudly, not since the days of ECW have we seen a legit straight up lucha match, and we're about to see one tomorrow night.
Yes.
Yeah. One other point, like you mentioned, you know, Andrade and all the back and forth, and you know all the journey he's been on. I will say, you know, when he first re-debuted in AEW, I was a little skeptical. I was like, well, it didn't work out the first time. He went back to WWE and it didn't quite work out there either. So, you know, I was skeptical. I was like, all right, let's just, you know, let's wait and see what happens. You know, hopefully things will be different this time. I had hope. And, you know, even just his re-debut, you know, made enough of a statement for WWE to go, oh, wait, we have this little clause. You're not allowed to do that. And that all eventually got sorted out, and it's, you know, all good now, and he's back. But
and now he's making OnlyFans models famous.
Right.
So
but yeah, obviously, since he was able to return, obviously they have big plans for him. They are making him look like a star. Not only on AEW, but his appearances on the indies when he showed up at House of Glory, when MJF had his match against Zilla Fatu. You know, so far, this is going perfectly. So I would love to see this keep going. I think so far, this is probably the best thing he's done in his career, as far as I'm concerned. And I haven't even been that long.
And he automatically becomes sort of a heat magnet just because he's associated with Don Callis and the Don Callis family. So I agree, though. So far, it's working very well.
Yeah.
We'll take this one, and I will open the statement is, this is your, not wrestling match, this is your fight of the night.
Agreed.
Go to Kesta.
This is going to be the match is like, wow, they just beat the shit out of each other. And that's hopefully everything. It's everything and more with that.
Yeah. Yeah, these two, oh boy. Yeah, you're right. It's going to be a fight. Mox, I think in this latest phase in his character, starting with the Continental Classic, he's out to prove that he's the workhorse that he says he is. They put out a really good interview with him and Renee, the close-up with Renee. By the way, quick little side note, the close-up with Renee interviews, they come out every Tuesday on AEW's YouTube. They are always really good, and I don't think AEW does enough promotion on them. Not a lot of people know about it unless there's an instance like this with Mox, where they have a specific reason to promote it leading up to a big match. But they definitely need to do a better job of promoting these interviews with Renee every single week. But this week's was really good with Mox. He speaks in metaphors a lot, which I know is, the biggest reason why a lot of people are like, well, I don't know what he's talking about. He speaks in metaphors. Even in that interview with Renee, a lot of the stuff he says, he just has he's obviously very articulate and very intelligent. And he just speaks in a lot of metaphors and hyperbole. And you're like, okay, man. All right, whatever you say. But yeah, I think that match is going to be really, really good. Mox is going to retain for sure.
All right. Let's go to this one because, again, and to me on this card, just looking at it, just looking at the graphics here as I'm bringing them up, there's not a bad match on this card or a match that's like, oh, this is my bathroom break match or anything like that.
So, yeah, bullshit. You ain't me.
Yeah, it's good. And again,
I got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, no real stakes in this one. And not really much of a build-up or story, but I'm very good because of all who's involved in it. I'm very interested to see how it is. This absolutely be another one of those car crash matches, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Again, just because of the guys involved.
Yeah, and we had
was Finley the linchpin for you?
No. I'm a little more educated on the dogs and Connors, Finley, and Gabe Kidd than many other people. People who are fans of New Japan or follow New Japan wrestling are more.
Neil loves these guys, right?
Well, no, he doesn't. But if you're a fan of New Japan, you know these names more so than your average AEW fan. If all they watch is AEW, these guys are still brand new. And I'm going to steal your thunder for a second, Dub. What they have done subsequently, like they put out another video today, kind of introducing David Finley. And we've seen Connors and Gabe Kidd already, but they kind of tied it all together very nicely and gave you an idea of what they're about, where they're from, and everything else. I think this is a great, kind of coming out match for them because we're not really quite sure where they fit in yet. And I think after coming out of the pay-per-view, we're going to have a much clearer picture of what they want to do, what they're about, and everything. But they're all three of them are fantastic wrestlers. If
that's
David
that's the thing. That's the thing. Like Gabe Kidd's got to find a little bit more of the character part than, because he's like fantastic in the ring. He's violent. He's does a lot of crazy shit. But like Finley comes out and he's got there's a character there. The shillelagh, you get knocked out.
And for those who may not know, if the Finley name sounds familiar, yes, he is the son of WWE legend and trainer Fit Finley.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and I wanted to bring that up. Not only the vignette that they put out today, which I thought was incredible.
What was that one titled? What was he saying in that?
Hate always succeeds or something.
Yes,
or hate
something
overcomes anything. Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. I can't remember specifically the wording, but
I
thought it was really, really good, really well done. You know, a big talking point amongst a lot of people after his debut is, oh, they didn't let him cut a promo. We needed to get a promo from him, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I think this is like good evidence of just let it cook. Like we say it all the time with WWE. Like, you know, apply the same logic to AEW that you apply to WWE. Let it cook. Yeah. Wait and see how the story unfolds. Don't get all outraged immediately off of one debut where you thought something should have happened that didn't. And, you know, he didn't cut a promo immediately upon his debut, but they put out this vignette, which is really good, introducing people to who he is, what the group is. I thought it was great. And I also wanted to mention, you said, you know, obviously he's the son of Fit Finlay. Fit Finlay, it works for NXT. And I guess now there's a faction in NXT kind of built around like second generation stars with Lexis King and a couple others, Ariana Grace. And I saw, I saw that the dogs were on Sean Ross Sapp's one of the little podcasts that he does for Fightful, I think. And he pretty much explained, he was like, you know, I've never made a dime working with my dad. I've made a lot of money working with these two guys, and this is where I want to be. So yeah, I thought that was interesting for him to say. And they're making a statement, like already. They're just making a statement. So I think tomorrow on Revolution, they're going to make an even bigger statement.
Speaking of making a statement, I have one question for you. Who is the baddest man in AEW? We're going to find out tomorrow night.
Man in AEW.
Dangerous
man. Me or Tony Khan?
And just in general. Like I said previously, AEW pay-per-views give something for everybody. If you want violence, if you want blood, that is your match. Brody King versus Swerve Strickland. For basically the most dangerous man in AEW. So you know this one is going to be a mess. And it's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be awesome. The chain is going to come into play at some point. We know this.
Brody broke it. What's he getting, a new chain? Yeah. You fucking snapped it in half.
Well,
did you see that?
Before we keep going,
that was cool.
Before we keep going, to your point, Deb, like with the vignettes that you get on YouTube and everything, it would behoove them constructive criticism for AEW to, you know what, instead of Excalibur rushing everybody through to the next thing or what's coming up next week on Collision, get, you know, play that 2 minute, play that 1 minute vignette. You know what I mean? Like let the people on TV see that. Yeah,
I completely agree with you. And I will say I have noticed a pattern that a lot of these vignettes and promos, they post on social media first, and then on the next show, they show it on the show. So Collision is tonight. We probably will get that vignette on Collision tonight. That's the pattern that I've seen is they tend to put it out on social media first, get people talking, and then on the next show, they will show that vignette on the show. They've done it with a lot of like the post-show promos that they've done. They put out on social media after the show, and then whenever the next show comes around a couple days later, they play it.
Yeah, because like we hardcore fans know who David Finlay is.
Yes,
but like everyday fans just don't really know who he is. They'll say Finlay, and then they'll go, "Oh, Finlay's son," and "Oh, does he rest?" You know what I mean? Like. Yeah. And it's not a slight to him. It's just the fact, you know. That's how it is.
Again,
we know these names that people don't know, you know. So
again,
that's
let
why
it
it
cook.
helps with him. Yeah, there's certain people where it's like, when Ray Phoenix was coming to WWE, they just flash up that little symbol, and you could get a few weeks of that. We don't have to go back to the old days when you're getting vignettes of Mr. Perfect introducing
So I think
himself
there's two ways to
3
do
months,
things. I think there's multiple ways to do things.
Exactly.
And
It depends on the star.
yeah, it depends on the star, it depends on the person, but it also depends on what they're trying to achieve. Like some people would benefit from weeks of teases before they debut. Some people benefit from a surprise, and then after the fact, you get that information to fill you in.
Everything doesn't have to be the lights off, lights on. Somebody in a ski mask and hoodie. 20 guys in a ski mask and a hoodie doing the Keystone Cop dance.
There's multiple ways to do things, and that's also like, that's one of my constructive criticisms, is that a lot of fans want AEW to do certain things certain ways just because that's the way that they're used to seeing it done.
Mm-hmm. But there are little things
that doesn't mean that AEW has to do that. There are different ways to do things.
There are ways to get more fans, more people connected, more fans, more people in seats, more people watching, or whatever you want to talk about.
But I completely agree
that copying the other guy, they don't have to be
exactly. And most AEW fans would agree that the time when AEW was at its lowest was when they attempted too much to try to be like WWE. They just need to be themselves, like I said before. But I completely agree that they should show that vignette on the show, and I am absolutely confident that they will, because I've noticed that's their pattern. Like I said, that's their pattern, is they put these promos and they put these vignettes out on social media, get people talking, and then they show it on the show.
Oh, before we go, John, before we get to the talking about the main event coming up on there, I just wanted to bring up about my AEW match of the week was freaking Speedball Mike Bailey against Kyle Fletcher. My God, you go back and watch that match if you guys missed it. That is a match. There's no schmaz. There's no Callis family getting involved. There's nothing going on, and it's just a friggin' back and forth match. And my God, I'm telling you, you go into the match saying, okay, Kyle Fletcher's going to destroy Speedball, and Speedball surprises everybody time after time. And just puts up.
Didn't surprise me. Mike
how
Bailey
many times did he get us? And where
it was a nearly and
so
first and foremost, fuck Dave Meltzer. I don't care if he was in the audience watching ringside.
I'd just like to say,
who gives a fuck?
That is not the match that David Meltzer fell asleep during. I'll just say that.
Right.
I'm gonna quote the great Cat Williams with this. I don't give a fuck.
All right. We are into championships, so we will start with this one.
Oh man. Okay. So I read that the Young Bucks are up 2-1 on their major matches with FTR, like their straight tag team matches, without other teams involved, obviously. Right. So I think FTR retains with this one. I think FTR is doing a really great job of kind of being that old school, like, heel tag team. We saw them attack the Young Bucks family. We first of all, if we don't see Stokely get Zack Rydered off the stage, what are we doing?
Exactly. Why am I paying $50 if I don't see that? Why am I paying it?
Stokely's taking one for the team tonight and tomorrow night. He's taking one for the team, and that's how they're going to retain. It has to be.
Right.
If not, they should lose the titles then. I gotta say the Bucks have since they've redeemed themselves and everything, and you know how I feel. Like I'll be like Dave, I'll be kind and say not my cup of tea all the time, but they've been really, you know, they're in their zone. They're in their zone right now. I'll say they've been unconscious. That's what they say in baseball when a hitter is just like cracking the ball all over the freaking place. They just say he's unconscious, and that's what the Young Bucks are right now. They're just unconscious. They're, you know, they
went down to the lowest of the lows, and they had to pick themselves up and start from the bottom.
And this is what makes us fans of FTR is the no flips, just fists, and then you got the flippy dudes. So that's
styles make fights.
There you go. I mean that's it. That's what you want. It's I go crazy when it's the flippy, and they go this and that, and the super kick and that one, and I jump off the rope, and you know this is good. Every once in a while,
and I legitimately think that they are two of the greatest tag teams in the history of tag teams. I legitimately believe that
since FTR was like an NXT almost.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and they were great in NXT. They've been great everywhere they went. And
remember when people would be having fits about them because they're in Christmas tree mat, Christmas,
I hated
KFC
it.
Table matches.
I hated it. The stupid thing that they were made to do with the Usos with the shaving thing. Come on. What the fuck was that bullshit?
Who are they going to pay ode to? Like that's what I love. Like FTR always breaks out something like there'll be a sequence and go like, hey, wait, that's what the Hitman did with so and so back at WrestleMania this or whatever, crazy shit like that.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
Moving on. The trilogy.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh,
so I put these graphics in here for this one and for MJF Hangman for a specific reason. I want to give a shout out to the graphic artist that makes these special posters for AEW. His name is Muhammad Fahmy. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Is he related
these
to
are
Oba
incredible.
Fahmy? No, that's Obi Fahmy.
No, not like that.
Real name, no gimmick.
Oh.
Dude, okay. So I love that AEW uses very talented graphic artists, graphic designers to make their stuff. Not only this guy with these special match posters, but the Mel Coleman does the paintings. We've seen the Don Callis paintings, and she's done a whole lot of other stuff.
Rob Schamberger's isn't he doing a new Darby or?
Rob Schamberger does a lot of really awesome prints, which I think I might start collecting to fill in an empty wall I have in my apartment. But there's also a girl named Danny, her on socials. Her page is called The Editorial Style. She does a lot of promos. She did like the Sky Blue and Julia Hart like vignettes. She's very, very talented with different styles of editing. So yeah, kudos to AEW for having a lot of great artists that they utilize for a lot of their stuff. I love it. And this Tekla and Stat match, the match poster is great. This is number 3 in the trilogy. And Tekla has just been kind of on a tear right now. I think Tekla's retaining.
This is a 2 out of 3 falls too, right?
Yes, this is a 2 out of 3 falls. So whoever wins, they have what's the phrase? A hard road to hoe.
Yes,
as Mark Henry likes to say.
Yes,
you said hoe.
It's gonna be great, but ultimately, I think Tekla retains.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a great match. Yes,
I only have four words for this match. Match of the night. Period.
And wasn't the other
match
of the night you were gonna say?
What? I said that Tony and Marina could be match of the night. But this is my definitive
semantics.
pick.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Remember what I say. Do as I say, not as I do.
gonna pick it this way. This match is my women's match of the night, and the triple threat, the triple tag team match.
Triple threat, as Sheamus would say.
Yeah.
For the tag team.
The trios?
The trios titles, yes.
The trios, okay.
I love this match, and I'm glad that they're playing it out this way. I don't want this rivalry to end because Chris Stat has been a stalwart in AEW forever and went through a lot of stops and starts and injuries and everything else, and she is truly defined herself as one of the top wrestlers in the company. And then you have Lindsay Snow's European cousin, who don't give a fuck about anybody or nothing except her and her crew. And it's exactly what Chris Statlander needed to give her that one extra leg up to be that legitimate top of the division that she is and should be.
Yep. They already had hell of a matches too, man. The strap match,
right. And I don't care. Fuck Kit Wilson. I am toxic. So
you are toxic.
So yes. So speaking of toxic, the promo that Tekla did, where she did the walk and talk, which was great. Yes. And then as she's talking, she gets into the ring, she gets up on the turnbuckle, and then she does the whole upside down thing to finish the what? What? That was cool. Mm-hmm. That was cool.
Yeah, there's a reason why she's holding that title, man. Mm-hmm. Since her debut,
she has absolutely captivated and absolutely has the attention.
That's someone who deserved what her debut. The lights off, lights on, and you see that. That has played, and we can all talk about how many missed debuts that AEW had. They absolutely got perfect. They absolutely nailed that one. But now, in the words of MLJ, the voice of GCW, are you ready for the main event?
Yes. Okay. So this, I saw a lot of people talking about this the other day after the match poster was revealed. This is beautiful storytelling in these match posters. Mm-hmm. Revolution last year, MJF was in Hangman's head. Forbidden Door last year, Hangman was in MJF's head. And now Revolution tomorrow, head on, face to face. What incredible detail in doing those match posters like that. Mm-hmm. I think those are ones that I want to buy. I literally want to buy those and put them on my wall. That's how good they are.
Those wouldn't be bad to get an autograph on. That's for sure.
My God. Real quick, I know we got to wrap up. Obviously, we're talking about the main event. Earlier today, while I was at work, I was listening to the Masked Band show, which I listen to every week with David Shoemaker and Kazim. David Shoemaker made an interesting point that, I'm not sure if he's going to end up being correct on, but I thought it was an interesting point, interesting scenario. He suggested that the stipulation where if Hangman loses, he never challenges for the title again, which, everybody has dubbed the Cody stipulation, and we know how that worked out. Shoemaker suggested that maybe this is an attempt by Tony Khan to fix a past error by proving that this stipulation can work if it's done right. And we may need to be patient and give it some time because obviously, they're not going to come out a month after and disregard the stipulation. So, it may take a while to get down the road to see how they kind of figure this out and work.
Well, there's one way you could do it, and not saying no, they don't have to do it right away. But here's one.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. So the suggestion was, and I think it's very interesting and absolutely very plausible. We know that Swerve is out to prove himself right now. Swerve is proving himself against Brody King, wanting to claim the moniker of the Dangerous Man in AEW because it took it personally that Kenny Omega didn't acknowledge him on that.
Mhm.
At some point in the future, maybe down the road, if Swerve is champion again, Swerve and Hangman's rivalry is so like evergreen and ongoing that they can go back to it at any moment. And what if at some point Swerve is champion and it comes to a point where Swerve basically is like so desperate to prove that he's the best and prove that he's better than everyone else, that he demands that Tony Khan lift the stipulation in order for Hangman to get his title shot so that Swerve can prove that he can beat Hangman for the title. Something like that. Like Swerve wants to prove that he's better and badder than Hangman and willing to do anything it takes to win. And down the road something happens where Swerve demands that the stipulation be lifted. There are ways that they can go around it. We just have to be patient. It's not going to happen in a couple months.
It's wrestling, right?
Yeah, it's not going to happen in a couple months. It's not going to happen at the next pay-per-view.
Right, they're not going to come out Wednesday.
Right. We have to be patient and let it play out. And I do think that in David Shoemaker's kind of thesis there, I think there's some truth to that Tony Khan wants to right the wrong. It didn't go well when Cody did it. It led to him leaving the company pretty much. And there wasn't enough time to maybe play it out, maybe as they hoped. So maybe this is a way to kind of prove like we can do the stipulation, and if it's done the right way and we have enough time to tell the story.
And it is a good piece of connective tissue that they can bring back at any point.
Yeah.
After it happens, they'll always have that kind of lingering in the background. I think that that and again, like me and Mike just said, it's the land of make believe.
Right.
It's not really real, so anything can happen. And
right.
I'm very interested to see. Me, I'm the what's next or what if guy. It's it's a good piece of storytelling that they kind of have in their back pocket that they can bring back at any point.
Yep. You know what happens in soap operas when the popular person dies? The evil twin comes back.
Right. And then they know they didn't die in that plane crash. They survived.
And then there's two of them.
Right. Right.
So that's it. There's his Ezekiel is out there. Don't worry. Or there's Midnight Rider.
Yes.
And we all know that Hangman is better on the chase anyway. Everybody pretty much agrees with that. So yeah, let Hangman chase for a while. He goes and does some other things. Maybe he wins one of the other titles, and then at some point, Hangman, gets back into the fold. And when the story demands it, then something will happen that there's a need to have the stipulation lifted.
Right. And
either way, this is going to be a freaking good damn match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can we get past? Are we finally past as a group? And I'm saying this to all wrestling fans because they all listen to us. Are we past the point that MJF can't wrestle? Are we done with that argument? Are we finally done? Oh, you dumb ass hat fucking dirt sheets. Can you really let go of the thing that MJF can't wrestle? Stop it. You sound stupid.
He's proven time and time again over the last 7 years.
He is a
generational talent. He is everything that he says that he is.
He's wrestled for an hour. He's wrestled for a half hour.
Yes, he is better than you.
With Jericho,
and you know it.
Everything.
I didn't show off my shirt.
Yes.
This is the OG AEW MJF shirt.
Yes.
I had a very
But-
difficult time choosing my shirt tonight, by the way.
Mhm.
I have like 3 MJF shirts. I have like 3
I'm wearing
Hangman
my
shirts.
316.
I didn't know. I was torn.
Yeah. Well, since we're all showing, I'm just wearing. It happens to be
Oh God.
the greatest story ever told. Shout out to Chris
Ah.
Bay, the ultimate finesser.
Yes. Yes.
Keep fighting, buddy.
All
We
right,
love
we gotta
Bay.
wrap up. I just want to close out by like the past 2 or 3 days. You guys have no idea. I've been working hard to try to keep up with all this media that's been coming out of leading up to Revolution. Like so many interviews. MJF is doing the media rounds like crazy. He's probably exhausted. Swerve was on a bunch of podcasts. I've been trying really hard to keep up with all the content, and I highly recommend. Denise did a quick interview with MJF that was incredible. She's put out so many clips that she probably put out the entire interview in 30-second clips, but it was gold. MJF was on like some local news in LA. He was on TMZ's Inside the Ring, the little wrestling podcast that TMZ does. He's on the Masked Man show. Swerve was on the Masked Man show. I listened to both. I've noticed that AEW has really kicked it up a notch with the media promotion that they do heading into a pay-per-view. And I think it shows. I think it shows in the interest in the product. It shows in the data that they're touting of, whatever numbers that they have. And I think they're doing a great job.
Well said.
Yep.
You know, and I don't understand, but I understand a lot of the flack and criticism that AEW gets. But one thing, and again, just what we just went through for this past hour shows AEW absolutely nails the pay-per-views. Yes, they're long. Yes, we know. Yes, you're going to be here all night. We get it. Don't watch, like you said earlier, Deb. Just, don't pay it, don't watch.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay it. I'm going to watch. I'll get to the point where I have to go to bed because I have to get up in the morning early.
Right.
And all that. But it's still, I'm not going to
there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm not going to shit can the whole thing just because,
they always put on a great pay-per-view. Let's just stop with that. It doesn't.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. All right.
We live in the digital age. There is absolutely nothing wrong with watching some of a show, then needing to go to bed and finishing it up the next day. There's nothing wrong with that. TNA changed the time slot that they're on. I can't stay up every week till 11 o'clock to watch the end of TNA. Sometimes I end up going to bed at like 10:30, and then I'll catch up on the rest of it the next day. There's nothing wrong with that. We live in the digital age. We don't live in the age anymore where you have to watch it live.
These damn kids. You don't know what we went through back in the day. 2 VCRs, 3 TVs.
Hey, come on.
We don't live in that world anymore where if you didn't watch it in the moment, you just didn't watch it. Like, we have options now. There's nothing wrong with saying, all right, I got to go to bed. I got to wake up early for work in the morning. I'll watch the rest of this another day. It's fine.
I remember when the bars used to be open till 4 in the freaking morning. We used to complain.
You also remember Discovery Fire.
Last call. What? Come on.
You were also remember Discovering Fire. So, anywho.
All right, let's wrap it up. Mongrovian, where can people find you?
Mongrovian Mike. There we go. I just want to say rest in peace, Phil Campbell from Motorhead. That's it. So one of the last OG members of Motorhead. Mickey D's the only one left. So right now in heaven, everything is louder than everything else, and rest in peace, brother. A lot of great music and riffs over the years. Huh?
I thought all the good musicians go to hell, though. They weren't exactly angels.
Well, you know. Lemmy said there's no voices.
Is that
in the
sacrilege?
Sky,
I don't know. Did I offend somebody?
nah, it's
I
not
don't know.
sacrilege. You know, they're just bringing it better. You know,
Yeah.
they were good. They didn't kill
Good
anybody.
musicians. If you believe in heaven
There
and hell,
is-
the good musicians are likely to go
No,
to
no,
hell.
no, no,
Let's
no,
be
no.
real.
Yeah, no. There's heaven and hell. There's hell for there's hell for bad people. But
Right.
Yeah, right.
not rock and
Right.
roll. Rock and roll just
I got
listen. Slayer just sings about what? Listen to the riffs. What do you think they're gonna sing about? Picking roses and daisies? Come on.
All right, John, where can people find you?
They got a love song, Dead Skin Mask.
Yes.
Whatever. What do you want?
Exactly.
I don't know.
I am at John South Jersey on the Instagram and the Twitter machine. And on Instagram is where you can keep up with the exploits of the most dangerous weapon in all professional wrestling. Of course, I am talking about the AK-9K, the Ash Kicker 9000, and you can keep up with all of his exploits, which apparently he's booked and busy.
Wait, isn't
Instagram.
Isn't his relative gonna the other AK is gonna be here in New York too, right?
Yes, I'm getting to that if you let me finish.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Let him talk.
You can keep up with all of AK9K's exploits at AssKicker9K on Instagram. And as Mongrovian sort of spilled, yes, AK9K, myself, and Mongrovian Mike will be on.
Is he the third guy?
Hashtag Nation Corner on
I stooched it off.
You did. You absolutely did.
We're gonna be
Hashtag
on
Nation Corner
location,
on
man.
location. It's going to be at the big event out in Brentwood, Long Island next weekend. Seeing a lot of our Nation's Corner friends and family, and looking forward to that.
That's gonna be fun,
Yes.
man. Looking forward to
And
it.
I am at That's So Debonair on the Twitter machine, the Instagram, the Blue Sky, everywhere.
That's where the
Find
hippies
me
are.
there. Click the link.
For human monies.
Yes.
Send up all your human monies. Click the link.
Yes, send me all your human monies. I got a cruise to pay for. Let's fucking go. Let's watch Collision and GCW Ashes to Ashes and have a good Revolution Day tomorrow.